Thanks very much for joining me on this Faces Friday. I'm Lynn Sherritt. Today, Michael Fullen and I are having an ongoing conversation about what's important at the system level, at the school level, and in the classroom to ensure that all students are learning. We're exploring technology and what it means to embrace everything digital. We see technology as an enabler, an enhancer, a necessary tool for efficiency and effectiveness, and certainly not an inhibitor. But that raises lots of questions for us. What are the equity issues, and how are we going to deal with them? Today we're exploring the impact of technology on standardized assessments. What does that look like when we know that formative assessment is the best that we can offer to understand how all students are learning? Have a listen.
So one of the things I think that we need to think about is that technology piece
Yeah,
and how it's an enabler or not,
yeah, yeah.
and what we've learned in COVID.
hmm
What do you think we've learned?
Well, we just did, send you, we did a short paper called, we did two papers. One was, I'm talking about the MPDL core group now. One was called Education Reimagined, and it was fine. And we just did 10 tips for coming out of COVID.
Mhm.
So when I get off today, I'll send that to you. And it basically says, don't approach it as a loss of learning phenomenon.
Yeah.
Approach it as a lift of learning. And what does lift look like? And I think what we've learned about is more important role of parents
Yes.
than before.
Yeah.
So an opportunity to involve parents in a way we haven't before.
Yeah.
Secondly, that students now on a minimal level have become accustomed to technology, but also both students and teachers are learning about the do's and don'ts of technology. Don't overuse it. Don't use it for routine things in the
Yeah.
wrong way. So I think there's our attitude towards COVID is that it really has kind of cleared the decks, and now is the time to pick up the pieces and say, what are the good pieces, and
Exactly.
what are the ones that weren't good anyways? Here's a
Yeah.
chance to toss them.
Absolutely. And I've just noticed that new leaders have stepped up that we actually didn't
Yeah,
know existed. So lots of people have been supporting, teachers, and teacher leaders have been supporting each other in learning together. But the learning that teachers have done as they've delivered the technology is really sensational.
yeah. Yeah,
And
broadening the base of leadership is a good theme, I
yeah,
think.
absolutely.
Thanks so much for joining me. I really appreciate the work being done in Jefferson County in the U.S. that Michael alludes to in this Faces Friday. Formative assessment is about students being able to answer the 5 questions. What are you learning and why? How are you doing in that learning? How do you know how you're doing? How can you improve? And where do you go for help? Those 5 questions tell us everything. And we're exploring how they can be used as an assessment tool at every level. How they can be used as students presenting their accumulated portfolios and have reflections on their learning. Thanks so much for joining me. See you next Faces Friday.